Alexis, thank you. You know, summer means outdoor activities, right? And while we try to be careful, obviously accidents happen. It's the way life goes, right? I'm joined this morning by Stephanie Lehman and Dustin Weber, both from SSM Health. Good morning, you two. We're talking tips today on first aid and all that good stuff. So why don't we start with some of the basics here? Talk to us about what people need to know just on kind of that base level.
Yeah, so the biggest and most helpful thing in terms of saving a life for first aid is bleeding control. With a serious injury, controlling bleeding is really key, and there are a number of different ways to do that, from the very simple to a little bit more advanced, and we have some different things we can show you here with that today.
I forgot to introduce our third guest today.
Yes, this is Jack.
Jack. Okay, do we want to start the demonstration right now, or do you want to wait till we get through a few more questions?
Sure.
Let's do it. Okay, good.
Absolutely. So the first step to controlling bleeding, you can see Jack here has a cut on his arm, is to do just old-fashioned direct pressure. So Stephanie is out for a hike with Jack here, let's say, and has a t-shirt. And a t-shirt or a towel or anything that you can use to put pressure over a wound is going to be the most helpful. So it's just pressure pretty hard straight down on top of a wound, and you're going to do that for as long as it takes for the bleeding to stop or for help to arrive.
Dustin, is that like that old school tourniquet that we're used to from like Boy and Girl Scouts that we learned years ago?
Yeah, so that is actually next on our list is tourniquet use. Tourniquets are back in the recommendations for bleeding control. We've learned a lot over the last 20 years or so about tourniquet use, and they are super, super important. And they are something that anyone can use and are extremely safe. So with a tourniquet, you want to apply it as high up on the extremity as you can, so as high up on the arm in this case, up in the armpit. And then you're going to tighten this rod that's there. It's called a windlass, and you're going to tighten that until you can't tighten it anymore. And unfortunately, it's not the most comfortable thing for the person who's bleeding, but it can save their life. And we actually have hours after this is applied for the person to go to the hospital and get some help. So it's not like we all used to think, you put it on a tourniquet, very bad things happen. There's actually a lot of time to work with to get that person help.
I think when things like this happen, right, it's easy to say, oh no, my mind went completely blank. I have forgotten everything I need to know. What are the things that that can be so easy to remember, keep top of mind? Let's say you are out for a hike or something like that.
I think some of the most important things to remember is make sure people know where you are. If you're going out for a hike, make sure you have some form of communication, because you don't want to get stranded out by yourself. Make sure you have your cell phone, make sure it's charged, make sure people know where you are in case you don't turn back. And then also remember to take some basic first aid things with you. A couple Band-Aids, maybe some gauze or something should something happen, and kind of always have a plan when you go out somewhere to know what you're doing. If you have an allergy to bees, you should bring your EpiPen with you, things like that.
That's common sense, right?
Right.
Just got to think about it. Okay, Stephanie and Dustin, thank you so much for being with us today. We appreciate it.
You're very welcome.
All right.